This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. And by Lee Health.
We are live here at the Blanchard House Museum of African American History and Culture, Charlotte County. Whew. And we're so thrilled to continue to bring on interesting guests here, as they've been a great host, and we got some people here now who are on the inside. Jill and Scott Shively. Welcome to Lee Pitts Live. Welcome to Lee Pitts Live.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, good to get you here. You guys have done a yeoman's job working around here for quite some time, helping this museum become the staple in the community that it has become. You, Scott, are the vice president and historian. What is that? What does the historian do? You like a curator?
Like a curator, a historian does everything that needs to be done to keep the museum current, vital to the community, and then whatever our boss, Dr. Beretta, says to do.
Okay. What are some things that that you do on an annual basis that comes up throughout the year that you make sure takes place there?
Our museum is open for the season from September through May, and what we do is we go through and come up with a new exhibit every year. So we have to do research, sometimes 2 years out, sometimes 1 year out. The new exhibit will be right behind me coming up, Southern Cooking. So we work on that all through the summer and get ready for the season.
That's great. Now, so husband and wife living in the museum world. Jill, did you have a background in museums or anything before then? Or you just how did this whole come about? I know you're the treasurer dealing with the money,
Right.
So that's all you can say. I deal with the money. Then we won't have anything else to talk about. So I'm not going to get into that. How did it come about? Though I know you do many more things.
Well, we do many more things, but how this started, how we got started here, my husband retired from the Air Force. We knew we wanted to live somewhere in Southwest Florida, and Punta Gorda has such a homey, wonderful small town feel.
Outstanding.
And that's what drew us
I
here.
love it.
And then one of the first weeks we were here, we love history. We have a son and a daughter, and we'd always take them to museums wherever we were stationed. And we said, what is there to see here in Punta Gorda? And we saw this little museum, and we walked in, and Dr. Barreto happened to be sitting in the office, and she said, well, what are you guys doing? You want to just join the family? We said, sure, yeah.
She has that affection on people.
She does.
She's just a great person. What have you liked so far, and how long have you been a part of the museum in terms of what it's doing?
We've been here since about 2006 or 2007, and I like meeting different people in the community. I like learning new histories, untold and untaught history. I like helping decorate the exhibits. I think it's fun. Scott and I go shopping, we go antiquing, we look around for things to put in as a 3D part of the exhibit.
Now, Scott, this is African American history. It doesn't take an African American scientist to see that you are not African American, yet you have this passion about this great, valuable history. Tell me how you came about being so passionate about this history.
When we retired and moved down here, it was actually the second day we were in town. We walked in that door, and Martha said, come join us. And we had always wanted to get into history, more into it. Everywhere in the world I've been, I've studied the history of where I've been. And I wanted to understand the history of where we are and make our new home. So we really had to pour into the history to understand, and this is a perfect place to do that.
What stands out to you, Jill, in terms of some of the things that you've learned about history just being a part of this museum experience?
I think what struck me at first and foremost was the early influence of African Americans in Florida and in this community. Even as far back as 1513, Ponce de Leon had African American crew members that were in this area. So it's the very, very early history.
On a daily basis, you two are like living together, functioning together. It's all on your mind all the time. what can we do at the museum? How can we improve? It becomes a part of your life.
Yeah, it certainly does. It really, we think about it every day. And we even have built some of our vacations on, where are we going to go so we can learn about some more of the influence of, well, our next exhibit is African influence of Southern cooking. So we went to Charleston, and you can't get a bad meal in Charleston. And so we were doing research as well as going on vacation.
Good stuff in Charleston.
It is.
And water. That's a historic area as well.
So we try to try to make our vacations, anything we read, anything we watch, any museum we go to, we're just trying to say, how can we tweak that for the museum?
Great. Charles, give us a verbal, short tour of the museum for people there. Just tell us some of the things that are in here right now. I know we've got about 2 different rooms here. This particular room that we're in right now is what's going on in this room? This
main gallery talks about the contributions of folks who first came here when they settled the area, and the families on the walls here, the descendants of the families are still here. It was the building of the county, established in the community, everyone working together. It is in this gallery. The gallery behind us, the changing one, like Martha has mentioned before, the director, we have gone thematically through history and told untold stories. And we have about 10 years of past exhibits, and we loan those out to whoever needs those. But we just kind of build on that, so we're telling the whole story of the Florida experience.
What people are looking at this all around the region now. They're going to be swamping up here trying to tour the museum. What are the museum hours?
We're open, our season goes from September to May, and we're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4. But we do open if somebody wants to come for a special tour.
Yes.
Yeah, and looking at the museum, it could be a great place too to host a reception. Even a wedding could be hosted in this place. Is it open for people to come up with unique ideas? They can do it in the museum?
Certainly.
Rent the museum?
We're always open to that.
Okay. The people, feedback, when they come in and they explore the museum, what are some things they're saying when they walk through this museum?
I think the first thing that they say is, I didn't know that.
That's right.
I just didn't know that happened.
And when you pull up on it, it's such a pristine neighborhood, pristine exterior. People seeing some of the visual on TV now. But when you pull up on the museum, it's just sitting right here in the community. It's like a part of the community. It's this nice little house sitting here. It's so beautiful to see from the outside. But one of the things I noticed that there's a little bench under the tree, just kind of gives you that old Southern feel. Go ahead and talk about that, Scott.
That's what we try to promote. If you want to come in here and have your lunch and look around, if you want to have a small meeting in here, if you just want to sit on the porch and read a book, we certainly encourage that.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for all the work that you guys have been doing. We'll be right back with another guest on Leap This Live. Let's give them a hand. Hey, this is Lee Pitts, the host of Lee Pitts Live, right here on Fox 4. Glad you checked us out here on YouTube. You want to not miss any of our shows, so we encourage you to subscribe by clicking that red button at the bottom there, and all our Lee Pitts Live shows will come directly to you, conveniently located.